Yes, you got this. What's up everyone, this is Akshay Sipala, and if I can do it, you can do it. I guess right now you'd be all prepped up for those product management interviews by going through amazing books like Cracking the PM Interview and also Decode and Conquer. But apart from that, I guess you'd be watching amazing YouTube videos just like this one to prepare for those product management interviews. But are you right now wondering what you can do to stand out from the rest of the folks who are going through the same kind of resources? If your answer is yes, then this video is for you. And before we get started, let's roll that intro. Yes, you can definitely stand out in those product management interviews, but before we get there, let me tell you something. There is one thing that you have to do again and again and again before going to those product management interviews. Can you guess what that one thing is? Alright, let's play Who Wants to Become a Product Manager? Yes, you have to practice, practice, and practice. And while you're doing that, you have to collect feedback, retrospect, and get better at interviewing. Alright, let's cut to the chase. There are 5 things that you can do to stand out in those product management interviews. And let's try to focus more on the product design interviews, as those are the most popular ones asked in product management interviews. Number 1, don't directly jump into the clarifying questions, but instead get excited about the problem. Doing this will help the interviewer understand that you love problems and enjoy solving them. Generally, if we do love solving problems, it would come out naturally, but because we'd be in an interview setting, we tend to get nervous as well as tend to hurry. So make sure that you're doing this to create the first best impression. Are you excited to know how you can do this? Then make sure to smash that like button to show your excitement. So when the interviewer asks a random product design question like design an Xbox controller for the disabled, instead of directly jumping into the clarifying questions, first take some time to share your personal experience with that product and also why that product excites you. It could be something on the lines, wow, this is a very interesting product. In fact, I have a disabled friend who happens to have issues when playing on the Xbox and he loves playing games. So if we really could do something about it, it would mean the world to him. But not just him, we'd be able to create such a difference to all the game lovers out there who are disabled. And that's why I'm excited, and I'm sure that we'll be having a lot of fun when designing this product. See, it's that easy to do, and it's that easy to earn yourself a brownie point. Number 2, don't just ask clarifying questions, but ask questions with the hypothesis and speak your mind out. It's a very good thing to ask clarifying questions, as it showcases your curiosity and also showcases the way that you cut down scope for a particular product. But you can definitely make it even better by doing this. So when asking a clarifying question, let the interviewer know why you're asking that question and how the answer to that question would help you build the right direction for the product. For example, if the interviewer asks you to design a kitchen, a clarifying question could be, are we designing this kitchen for a specific use case? But in order to make this question better, you can add more specifics and also add the reason to why you're asking that question by saying, are we designing this kitchen for a specific use case like personal use, business use, or office use? The reason why I'm asking this question is because for each of these use cases, there are different users as well as user problems associated. And by knowing this piece of information, we'd be able to take the right direction for the product. See how much big of a difference it creates. It lets the interviewer know that you are aware of the various users, you empathize with different user segments, and also that you're not going through a framework checklist. Leading with the hypothesis is a product manager's mindset. And by doing this, you earn yourself another brownie point, not just within this context, but also when choosing a goal, when deciding on a user segment, and also when prioritizing a particular pain point problem to solve. Number 3, don't just think about the user, think about all the possible users and all the possible cases. When understanding the user segments, don't just think about the primary user, also think about the secondary users and also the edge cases. This lets the interviewer know that you know how to zoom out and look at the bigger picture. Not sure what I meant there? Don't worry, let me help you. Say that an interviewer asks you to design a refrigerator for children. So coming to the users, you generally segment the children into elementary school, middle school, and high school. But if you really want to stand out, you have to consider the edge case, which is the kids with disabilities. But apart from that, children are just the primary users, and in this case, there are secondary users as well, like parents and also siblings. Similarly, when designing a product for the blind, the secondary users would be parents as well as assistants or helpers. Hence, we'd also have to keep them in mind when designing products. Number 4, don't design the product all by yourself. Design it as a team. You might have all the missing pieces of information after asking those clarifying questions and might have all sorts of cool ideas to help solve those pain point problems. But remember, a product manager brings a product to life after interacting and collaborating with a whole lot of people. Hence, you would get extra bonus points if you can prove to the interviewer that you are a team player. And how can you do that? You can do that by involving your interviewer in the decision-making process to get to the best refined product. Matter of fact, these people are product leaders and they're the best at what they do. So considering their opinion will not only help to showcase that you're a team player, but also it would help you reach a better and more beautifully designed product. For example, when you're setting the goal for the product, you can say something like, after analyzing the context of the problem as well as the product, I think that the goal should be to improve user experience for the product. And I think by having this goal, we would in turn improve other metrics like acquisition and revenue. Do you think this is a fair assumption, or do you have any other goal in mind? Similarly, you can check in with the interviewer when selecting a particular user segment, deciding what pain point problems to solve, and also probably when defining the success metric for the product. Or it could also be you asking your interviewer for help when you're stuck. Being a team player is also about taking lead in conversations, but apart from that, it's also about the way that you fill the conversations with positive vibes through your excitement, your passion, and your big smile. Number 5, don't simply follow frameworks. Instead, use them as an approach to structure conversation. Yes, there are many great frameworks out there, but everyone tends to use the same framework, and that too like a checklist. So what can you do to stand out? Hear me out. So what you can do is you can create your own customized version of the framework that you read online or that you read from Decode and Conquer. And let me tell you something, sometimes even those customized frameworks won't fit in for a particular interview question, and at that time you have to tweak the framework on the go instead of just going through that framework like a checklist. And if you're having a virtual interview, you can stand out by outlining the framework for a structured conversation by saying something like, now that we decided on the goal for the product, I would now like to lay out my approach so that it would be easy for both of us to be on the same page throughout our discussion. So first we can talk about the different users and their user journeys, and later identify various pain points within those journeys, and right after that we can figure out various solutions and prioritize them. And towards the end we can define success metrics for the product, and if time permits, I can summarize the whole discussion for you. Does that sound good? And if you did identify something, throughout the whole dialogue, I used more of a we instead of an I. And by doing that, the interviewer would know that I am a great team player and we both are in this together to design that beautiful product. By the way, are you interested to see the customized framework that I've built and the framework that helped me break into product management? If yes, then make sure to smash that like button and comment down below that you want that framework. Aren't these 5 things very simple to implement? Yes, they definitely are. You might think these are very small things, but if you do implement them in the right way, it would definitely create a lot of impact. Oh, you want one more? Alright, I can't say no. But before I do tell you another bonus tip, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that bell icon. So here you go. Whenever you're thinking about solutions for pain point problems, make sure to have at least one moonshot idea. That one crazy out-of-the-box idea that might even be impossible to implement. By doing that, you'd be showcasing your crazy creative thinking skills, which is very important for a product manager. You never know, you might be heading into an engineering team where the engineers are capable of doing magic of turning the impossible to possible. Now that you know what you have to do to stand out in those interviews, now make sure to practice, practice, and practice before going to those interviews. I know that you're gonna nail them. That's all that I had for this one. I'll see you in the next one, but until then, be kind, stay humble, and keep hustling. Thank you for watching.